Hello and welcome to Stat Lab. Today we're going to look at how we can answer questions using two-way tables and histograms. So if you saw a question like this, a lot of students get very uncomfortable. They see too much information. So let's take a look at how we could break this question down. A lot of times students are overwhelmed, and I often tell students to bring a highlighter with them when they're writing an exam, so they can highlight just the information they need and ignore all the other noise. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to pull out the information that we need. So the first fact that we come across that we need is that they surveyed 50 people. So that means our sample size is 50. Now, the next thing is that 32% of people have blue eyes. So we will write down that 32% of people have blue eyes. Next, 38% of people are blonde. 20% of people are both blonde and blue-eyed. No one has both black hair and hazel eyes. And 46% of people have brown hair. We'll write that one down. 52% of brown eyes. And 1 out of 8 blue-eyed people have black hair. That's definitely one of the more challenging ones. And lastly, 50% of people with hazel eyes have blonde hair. Okay, so now that we have all our information, we can get rid of all the other noise. All right, so here is a table that you could use. You can see that on the vertical axis, I have hair color, and on the horizontal axis, I have eye color. First thing that I see is that we have an N of 50. So that's going to go down in the bottom corner because that's the grand total. The next thing I'm going to look at is 32% blue eyes. So in that case, I'm looking for this row here in eye color, blue. So I want to put the number in the total row. So in order to figure out how many people that is, I have to take 32% of 50. And in order to do that, I take 0.32 times 50, which gives me 16. All right, let's keep going. 38% are blonde. So this time I'm looking for the row that's blonde, and I'm going to get the same thing. I'm going to multiply 0.38 by 50 to get 19. The next one says 20% of people are blonde and blue-eyed. So I look for the square that lines up with both the blonde and the blue-eyed, and I calculate 20%, which is 10. They also tell us that 0% of people have black hair and hazel eyes. So we go up to the top row for black hair, go across till we hit hazel, and we can throw a 0 there. Okay, now we have 46% of people have brown hair. So let's go to the second row all the way over to the end, and we will put 46%, which works out to be 23. 52% of people have brown eyes. So when we calculate that, we get 26. Now let's look at 1/8 of blue-eyed people have black hair. This can be a little bit tricky for some people. Sometimes the 1/8 throws them off, but all you have to do is take 1 and divide it by 8 in your calculator, and then you just multiply that number by your sample size of 50. In this case, we're looking at 16 people with blue eyes. So 1/8 of them has black hair. That's just going to give us a 2, but you could easily do it in the calculator as well. The last one tells us that 50% of hazel-eyed people have blonde hair. Now I'm hitting a problem. How can I calculate 50% of hazel-eyed people if I don't know how many hazel-eyed people I have? So in the bottom row there, you can see I only have one value missing. And since the corner is a total, I know that if I take 50 and I subtract 16 and I subtract 26, I'm going to get 8. So now I know that I have 8 people with hazel eyes. So 50% of that obviously is 4. That's all the information that they've given us, but it's enough information to finish the table. So let's start doing that. Let's look at the total for the row of black hair. We can see there we're only missing 1 as well. So we can take 50 minus 19 minus 23. Again, we're going to get 8. Now we can look at the next column. For blue eyes, we can see that 16 minus 10 minus 2 equals 4. We can move over to the Hazel. We have 8. And then we've already minused off 4, so that leaves 4. Now we can look at the top row. We can solve for black hair, brown eyes, because we have an 8 total and we minus 2. That leaves us with 6. Same with the second row. 23 minus 4 minus 4 gives us 15. And 19 minus 10 minus 4 gives us 5. So as you can see, it's not difficult if you break it down and take it step by step. And of course, if you had maybe looked at some of this information out of order, it would have been more difficult, because as you saw that last one, that 50% of hazel-eyed people, I needed to have some of the table filled in before I could actually do that. So it's often a good idea to look at the information as it's given in the question, the order it's given in the question. Or if you can't answer that one, just skip it and keep entering in the stuff that you can. A lot of these questions are actually given to you, the table's given to you, and they're going to ask you like, what percentage of people have blonde hair and blue eyes? Or what percentage of black-haired people have brown eyes? That's the way you often see the question. This way is a little bit more unusual, but that's why I did it, because I think that a lot of students would be confused by that and even scared a little bit. So I thought we would go through one of those examples. So now let's look at how you answer questions that involved a histogram. So here's a histogram showing the distribution of weights for a group of students. First thing that we want to notice is that the histogram is in frequency and not percent, because that matters. I often tell my students to write the little numbers on top of the bins, so when they're trying to calculate things later, it's easy to see. So you can see that bin 132 has 2 observations, 134 has 2 observations, so you just go through and put the totals above the bin so that when you're counting, they're already there for you. Okay, so let's look at a question. What is the most common weight in the class? Another question, what percentage of students weigh less than 136 pounds? And the third question, if a student weighs 144 pounds, what percentage of students weigh more? Okay, so let's look at the first one. What is the most common weight in the class? We can see that the bin for 140 has 8 observations in it. So that is the bin with the most observations, therefore it is the most common, and we would also say that that is the mode. So the most common weight in the class is 140 pounds. So the next one, what percent of students weigh less than 136 pounds? Now, as I mentioned, this histogram is in frequency. So before we can calculate any kind of percents, we need to know how many students are in the class. So we're going to go through and add up all those little numbers that I had you write on top. So 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 8 plus 3 plus 2, plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 gives us 30. So we have a sample size of 30. So now we want to know, okay, how many students weigh less than 136? So if you go over there, you can see right here at 136. So I have 2 students that weigh 134, 2 students that weigh 132, which means I have 4 students that weigh less than 136. So in order to find the percent, I'm going to take 4 divided by 30 times it by 100 and get 13. So our answer is 13% of students weigh less than 136 pounds. The next question says, if a student weighs 144 pounds, what percentage of students weigh more? So in this case, we're going to look for 144. We can see it is right here. And if we look above 144, we can see that I have 2 students that weigh 146 and 1 student that weighs 148. So I have 3 students that weigh more than that student does. Now, again, we know our sample size is 30, so 3 divided by 30 times 100 is 10. So 10% of students will weigh more than the student that weighs 144 pounds. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and hit subscribe, and feel free to leave comments about videos you would like to see in the future. Or just check out the next video where we compare the mean and the median.